O'Neill, 2 L's. I serve the SGC under a General Hammond.
We're explorers. You see, we're from another planet.
The unstable vortex of a forming wormhole. Kawoosh.
Indeed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the second season of the Kawoosh podcast. I am your host Arne and I am joined as always by my co-host
Evie. I love it when you do kawoosh.
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 Well, it is the name of our podcast. Second episode of season 2, and this one has the title of In the Line of Duty.
Which, in hindsight, is a very weird title. Again, I don't really think it applies to the episode in any way.
It applies to, if I tell you what it applies to, it's all, of course, spoilers.
Yes, because people who are watching this have never seen Stargate before.
This show from the late 90s.
What?
I think it applies to Jolinar.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe. I still feel like naming is one of the weak spots of Stargate. Like
the character names.
No, the titles of the
titles.
episodes.
Anyway, it opens up with a close-up of a statue, and we see a old, like Viking-style village in the background, and it is being attacked by Gua'old gliders. And there's SG people on the beach helping them escape. And this is apparently SG1 and SG6. I saw a 6 on one of the shoulder patches of one of the others. And they're helping the people to the gate. And Daniel activates it, guiding them through. And Sam, meanwhile, has stopped to help a wounded person that is lying on the ground. And she starts CPR and giving him mouth to mouth. And then the person grabs her head and something passes between them. And when he lets go, her eyes glow.
Which is, I have to admit, a very cool way of getting Gua'old. Because everybody knows exactly what happens, but you don't have to show the creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's very dramatic too. I loved it.
Then Jack arrives to pull her away, and they escape to the SGC where the people are being treated in the gate room. Hammond is waiting, and as soon as Jack and Sam come through, they close the iris and deactivate the gate. And we end this part of the episode with a close-up of Sam looking around curiously before we cut to credits.
Which is a very strong opening for, basically the first episode of the second season, because I'm not really counting. Well, you have the conclusion, and now you're getting back into the swing of it. First, they show action, which is always good to draw new people in. Mm-hmm. So
I'm also really glad that this is going to be a Sam-centric episode, which is nice because it has been a while. She was like a side player in this whole arc we had at the ending of
well,
the
to be fair,
season.
so was Daniel. Like, you can only have, you can't have all of them play major parts in this.
Yeah, but last time we were kind of complaining that when Braytak showed up, they immediately sidelined most of the other characters because they needed time for him as well. So this is a clear return to, okay, it's about the team.
Yeah.
And this one is about Sam. So I was happy.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out a minor detail. When the medics are working in like a very confined space, one of them shoves Hammond out of the way because he's working, and I really love that.
Oh, okay. That's a cool
like,
detail.
rank means nothing, you're in my way. Which is very valid. Like, he was actually standing somewhere where he was
like
in the way.
right in the middle of the
and
room.
he also doesn't react to it. I mean, he does react to it as in he gets out of the way, but he doesn't.
Yeah. But
Hammond is very much
the fact that he's there in the thick of it,
Yeah.
making sure that everybody is back, I really like that.
but he's also not being pompous about it. He's not trying to be important. He actually, like, these tiny little details just show that they understand all their characters. And I really like that.
After the credits, we have a briefing. Daniel briefs Hammond after the mission, and they're talking about that they're unsure what the reason was that the village got attacked. There seemed to be no reason for them to wipe out these people. Now, Jack offers that it may have been because they were there, and Teal'c says that he has seen them do it for no reason but their own pleasure. And then Sam suddenly pipes up, and she says maybe Teal'c doesn't understand the reason because he's just a Jaffa.
Which is valid, but not something Sam would say in
Yeah,
that
but
way.
exactly, because
Yeah.
they all immediately react to that, and
Like-
because it is unlike her on every level.
Yeah.
She kind of
Dials it back a
dials
bit.
it back a bit, and like comes up with an explanation, and they at that moment seem fine by it. So Hammond decides that relocating the people at this point is more important than finding out why they did it. And after the meeting, Jack tells Sam that she has to go to medical because apparently she was the only one who didn't immediately go for a checkup.
Which, it's very lax. I mean, maybe that's just because we had COVID happening and stuff, but they keep saying everybody needs to get checked up, but then people can just bypass that. But then again, I know in real life it
very
also...
chaotic. They had a lot of people coming into medical.
I
So
know.
at that point, and they were like, it was just like, don't forget to do it. And
Yeah.
then actually she really
does
does
go
do
in.
it. And she has this really fun moment when I don't remember what she says, but she says something to Jack, and then she like pats him on the
She
shoulder.
punches him in the
Yeah.
shoulder. She's like, yeah, sure, partner, or whatever. She makes it very,
Very
jovial,
yeah.
and she's very much trying to fit in.
But he's taken aback, like, what
like-
just happened here?
What? Can I just I'm gonna nitpick here, but it jumped out to me because mostly all of these actors are doing such a good job. I feel Daniel's actor really phoned it in here. He was very flat, and it
Yeah.
stood out to me because he's usually very good. And I'm like, did you have a really bad day? Did you just not get any sleep? It was almost like he was reading it off a teleprompter. I don't know.
He didn't have a lot to do in this episode as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
but usually that's not a problem, and he works with what he has. It just feels like he was having a bad day, which, fair.
the scene also started out with a lot of just exposition dumping.
Yeah,
and
but he's
maybe-
usually better at
yeah,
that.
it's kind of his function
Yeah,
in the team. So
maybe I don't know. It just felt like he was having a bad day. Which I have bad days at work. I just don't have it taped and broadcast. So
exactly. Yeah. In the med bay, Dr. Fraser checks Sam out, and she notices, because he's looking in her mouth, that she has something, and she asks, do you have a sore throat? She does a swab just to make sure that she's not sick, but makes nothing of it. And she also mentions that Cassandra, the girl from last season, will be coming by the hospital, and that she wants to see Sam. So apparently the doctor is also working at an off-site hospital. She's not... Maybe that's to explain
that's
why she's not
because-
always there.
Wasn't it explained that the overflow was too big, so they're moving some of the victims to that hospital,
Yeah,
and that's why.
that as well. But
And then
why
because
would
she has
Cassandra
to
come there?
because she has to work there, and then Cassandra has to. I don't know.
I don't. I had the feeling because she also knows the staff. We later in the episode we see that she knows all the other doctors and stuff. Like maybe that's a second location she works
Well, it's
at.
definitely a location where the military is present. So
True.
I think we're overthinking it. I think they
It,
just
it,
needed.
it looked like a normal hospital. Also, Cassandra can just walk in there, which she wouldn't be able to do in the base. Maybe I'm looking too deep
Yeah.
into it. Yeah. Anyway, so next day, Sam goes to the hospital. Cassandra
Hang
is...
on.
yeah.
Did we pass
Oh,
the fact
I-
where the guy in
Yes,
the mummy?
I went too far. So the next day, we get into the hospital, and the doctor is looking at a burn victim, presumably from the planet. It isn't immediately clear. All covered up in bandages and on life support. And Sam arrives.
No, hang on. And the doctor goes, he has burns, he has third-degree burns over 80% of his body, but he has no infection. And I'm like, even I, with just my first 8 degree, know that that's impossible. Like,
Now we
anything
do get
over
an explanation.
Yes, but anything over 1/5 of your whole body being burned to that degree is life-threatening to the... There's no... And she goes, how odd, and wanders off. Like, no, this is beyond odd.
Yeah,
like, maybe.
that should have tipped her off that something was going
Yeah.
on. And
Or-
and you're right. It's because she doesn't really react to it. Like you go like there should be an infection. So either the writers got it wrong or there is something going on, and then the doctor should actually react to
Or
it.
just give a baseline of saying like, they must be built stronger than regular humans or something like
Yeah.
that. That would have really easily explained it. But then again, this, in the 19th, they probably didn't know that being burnt to that degree is so... I don't know.
So yeah, Sam arrives and they leave to go meet Cassandra, and after they leave the room, the belly or chest area of that mummified guy starts glowing like there's a light coming from inside. In the next room, Cassandra is finger painting.
Very, very badly. I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't mock other people's art, but this is very clearly done by someone who is not a kid trying to be a kid. Like, why didn't they just give that actress some finger paint and let her do it herself? It would have been better. I don't know. It feels like dumbed down art.
It also felt a little bit like, oh, we need to have something to have her do. Let's give her finger paint.
And she needs interest in life, and she does. Like, I get it, but when you see these drawings in movies, and you just know that somebody's like, how would a child paint? Like, just give it to a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, just let a kid do it.
When Sam comes in, Cassandra goes in and they hug, and suddenly she reacts very panicked and hides behind a couch. And Sam straightens and her eyes glow.
Dun dun dun.
At the SGC, they are talking about relocating when a call comes in for Jack to get to the hospital and talk to Cassandra. She only wants to talk to him for some reason. So when Jack gets there, she is cowering in the office and he sits down beside her.
And Jack's entire vibe always completely changes when he's
He's
around
very
kids.
good with kids,
He's
yeah.
his posture, his
But
voice.
he gets down to her level so he doesn't talk down to her.
Yeah, but he just like totally relaxed. There's a whole different way that without being like, hey, you little tiny. No, he just
he sits
opens
down
up and he's
he waits for her, and she comes closer. She sits right next to him, and
he's very good with kids.
Yeah, so he wants to know what's going on, and she says that if she tells, she would kill her. Of course, he doesn't believe it. He says Sam would never do anything to hurt her, and then Cassandra says, now she does because she's a Gua'old.
Which I do love, like, looking back on it, knowing now that it's not a bad Gua'old per se. Like, she could have just knocked Cassandra out and taken the problem out if she was a bad Gua'old. She wouldn't have...
Yeah, at this point, you should probably start wondering, like, if she was discovered, why is Cassandra either A, alive or still there, or like what's going on? So something is definitely up, and it's not a normal Gua'old. We cut back to the SGC where Sam marches into the dressing room. Teal'c and Daniel are already there prepping for, I guess, some kind of mission or recon, and she urges them on. She wants to leave and she wants to know where O'Neill is. Next, we see her. She's pacing up and down the gate room when Jack enters, and he manages to stab her with a needle, which does nothing. And we have a reaction on Hammond and the doctor in the command room, where she says, like, that was enough tranquilizer to down a horse.
I'm gonna be annoyed
an
about
elephant.
medical stuff again. They don't actually do that. If you overdose, that's dangerous. You can just stop existing. Like, they don't just overdose you. So just, let's just give her what we give an elephant. I'm sure it'll be fine. No, that's not a risk they would take. I'm very medically upset at this episode.
Yeah, even if you know, because if you believe there's a Gua'old in there, you don't know how much you need, because they shoot her again with a tranq gun later in that same scene.
That's two elephants.
Yeah,
like,
and then it takes a little while to kick in.
Like, and you don't need to be this dramatic. Just say like, that should have worked. Like, I don't know, but I know they want to do this for dramatic effect, but that's really dangerous. You're teaching kids at home that they can take their regular store-bought elephant tranquilizer and just, I don't know.
It's actually that sentence, and I know why they put it in there.
I know.
To like, oh, she's very, 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 very strong. But then again, like, why would you have a dose that high for humans?
I just feel like they probably had a military person on set to give them all the correct ranks and everything. Like, Just
But not
hire
a
a
doctor.
medical,
Yeah.
just hire a medical person to go like, no, you can't, no. Just
Yeah,
don't do
it's-
this.
It's probably because it's not a medical show that they didn't even
I
think about
know,
that.
but
Yeah.
it
No,
annoys
but
me.
it is you are correct. Like, it's so unlogical. Yeah, she manages to get a grenade and she threatens to blow up the gate room if they don't let her go.
At which point, one of the soldiers go, I'm just gonna shoot you. Like, she's still gonna drop the grenade, you...
Yeah, and Jack has to go like, no, don't
Like-
shoot her. She'll drop the grenade.
Yeah, like, we're gonna have a talk, John.
Yeah. But yeah, in the end, the sedation kicks in and she drops down. They get the grenade, put the pin back in there, which
Which is
was kind
really
of a good
cute.
detail.
Yeah, because you can just see Jack. He's like seeing that she's gonna go down any second. So yeah, that was very well done.
So then we cut to the briefing room after all this, and the doctor is telling them that they didn't find any evidence of anything wrong with Sam, except maybe the abrasions in her throat. So Jack realizes what happened when she gave the guy mouth to mouth. Now Teal'c tells them that the Gua'old since she's a Gua'old, she might have sabotaged the base or done something or planted something. And Jack wants to get the Gua'old out of Carter, at which point Daniel remarks that it didn't end well for Kowalski.
And I just want to note, like, Neil is basically he's giving a lot of upset emotion in between his dialogue, even though his dialogue isn't necessarily centered around, oh no, we basically lost Carter. Because, you know, the track record of getting a Gua'uld out is not great at this point. But he is giving these little moments of being upset without being... I just really liked his acting in this moment.
Yeah,
like, he's still being rational and he's, you know... He's not overly emotional, but enough.
Exactly. Enough comes through that he cares for these people, he wants to fix this.
And he's like not like you just feel like he went through all this again, he doesn't want to go. He just really is nailing it, and Teal'c is just being Teal'c. And then there's Daniel phoning it in, and I'm like, what happened, Daniel? Like, I don't know. I forgot Daniel's actor's name.
Michael Shanks.
Michael! I should have. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he can't have a bad day, but like it just was a very big contrast because Neil was...
It's O'Neill, by the way.
I don't know why I see Neil. I'm sorry. O'Neill. I do apologize. Naming is important. O'Neill.
Back in the hospital, there is another doctor that goes to do some tests on the burn victim when he suddenly gets grabbed by the throat. And then somewhere else in the hospital, Daniel visits one of the people that is recovering there, and he wants to talk to her.
And I know they don't mean it that way, but the fact that he goes to a woman, it feels like they always pair him up with women for some reason.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just because she needed to be, you know, the partner of the guy that died. I think maybe that's why.
I think that's why they did it.
But it just feels like, oh, you're gonna, you know, out of all the people that survived, you're picking. I don't know.
I think it's just a very...
Maybe I'm just overthinking it again.
No, but it's a very tropey thing to do. It's just
True.
just so much easier if she's the wife of the person that died, then she would know this or this or this.
True.
Without any more explanation. It's taking shortcuts. That's just what it is.
True, because you don't have a lot of time with her.
Yeah.
And the public is unfortunately more wired towards seeing someone in need and showing emotion, you know.
Like, it could have been the best friend, but then you would need to explain, oh, you're a very good friend, and this. Like,
True,
if you
true.
say wife, there's no more explanation needed, and that's how you end up with Daniel
true.
visiting yet another woman.
Also, knock Daniel. He just barges in. Stuff like that annoys me.
Very weird in the hospital, because
He's
the
like
door
goes
is
in,
closed.
oh, excuse me, you knew there was someone in there, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what
When we cut back to as you see, O'Neill is sitting alone. I think it's the dressing room.
I think it is.
And Teal'c walks in, and they have a short heart-to-heart.
I love it so much because it's none of this platitudes like it's gonna be all right or I know how you feel, or it's just a very simple, this is difficult. And it's just truth. Like I see you, I understand, but no more than that. And he creates space for Jack to just vent for a bit. And I just really like Teal'c, okay? He's a very strong character.
And then he offers up that arrogance is the greatest weakness of the Gua'old and that he can use it. Then we see that Sam is being held in a prison that is also fitted with lasers. Like, that's a fun detail.
I mean, they don't really prove to do anything later on. But
somebody
I
had
think,
the idea that they would have
I
lasers.
think it's more like a motion sensor, like they
Yeah.
get, like it triggers an alarm or something.
Probably, yeah.
And I wrote it down for the first time here, but I kept writing it down. Amanda is playing it really, really well.
Yeah.
Like, not
She's-
over the top, but just arrogant enough and just very definitely, clearly someone else.
Yeah,
It's-
because he comes in and she's just standing upright. Mm-hmm. Clearly been standing there a while as well. She's not relaxed and she's like standing upright. And he says he wants to talk because he's trying to talk to the arrogance, like, oh, you blew your mission, blah, blah, blah. And she's not going for it. She says that he has no idea why this is happening. Well, yes, he doesn't. That's why he was there. In the hospital, Daniel is talking to the woman, and he shows her a photo of a man who turns out to be her husband. Because he actually didn't know, apparently. But like, he's showing her photos, and then she...
I wrote down Daniel's bedside manner sucks, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a dialogue scene that is obviously written by somebody who knows how it's gonna end up.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sugarcoating, there's no probing, there's just like...
And again, you need to
Exposition.
get,
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of time for all of this. I get it, but
Yeah. She can't believe that there was something inside of him, and Daniel asks if there was something different about him, like a scar or something, and she remembers a scar in his neck.
but that was months ago.
Yeah, so it would have been a while. Jack exits the room and walks past the room with... Oh, I wrote down Jack, it's Daniel, of course. Daniel exits the room and he walks past the room with the burn victim, and the bed is empty and the doctor is lying unconscious on the ground. And the guy is standing at the mirror and starts unwrapping his bandages. And he coughs up a small item, which turns out to be a ring, like a miniature hand weapon kind of thing.
Which, didn't they take an MRI? Wouldn't that have shown up? He's a burn victim. Also, that was a very sharp ring. Like,
It was actually kind of big
big
cough
too.
up.
But it was most like the sharp point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have put like a cork on there or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then the doc arrives to check, and there is somebody wrapped in bandages in the bed.
That guy was hooked up to a lot of things, and those things, when you plug them out, the alarm goes off. Why weren't there any alarms? How did Mummy Guy know exactly how to plug everything back in? I don't know how to plug everything in, and I live here. Like, again, medically.
Yeah, also, it is a hospital that's clearly, like you said, there's military presence there. All these things just happen.
Yeah. Also, like,
nobody-
even just the wrapping. Like, have you ever tried teaching people how to wrap people up? Like, that's not an intuitive thing.
It was really well
It
done.
was really well done.
Yeah.
Like,
And the scene does suggest that it only was a couple of moments
yeah,
later.
it takes a lot of time to wrap. Where did he even find the bandages?
Yeah.
Again, I'm overthinking it, but it was very convenient.
Now, back in the cell, Sam asks to be let out, and she promises that the Gua'old will leave the body when she reaches safety. But Jack tells her that he didn't even know they could do that, and that he can't trust her to keep her word.
I mean, obviously they can, because he just left another body, right?
Yeah, but I think it's more that he doesn't trust her to do it.
Yeah, no,
Because
true.
At this point, they're still thinking that she is a
He.
system. Yeah, because it's a male Gua'old, apparently. But it's a system lord kind of Gua'old. It's the bad guys. Mm-hmm. They don't know what the Gua'old is at that point. And as he walks away, she starts talking in Sam's voice, and she starts begging to be believed.
Which is so manipulative, because
Yeah.
she uses his first name, and you just know that Carter would never do that in that situation.
Yeah, but he stops.
He stops,
For a
of course he
moment,
stops, because
She reaches him for a moment there, but he leaves. Yeah.
and then Amanda's face just drops, and like, what will it take? And I'm like, oh, you're killing it, you're so good.
And then back in the hospital, we see the guy that unwrapped himself, and he's dressed as the doctor, and he starts scanning all of the victims from the planet, like with the ring thing.
With the ring thing.
So he's obviously looking for the Gua'old. Teal'c is the next one to go talk to Sam, and she says that she's impressed by the Tauri. He tells her they already thwarted the Gua'old attack, so they shouldn't be underestimated, and she asks if he has heard of the tok'ra, that she is Jolinar, and that she is a member of the Resistance. He is, yes, sorry.
I know, it's confusing.
It's a bit confusing because, yeah, they're two different people.
I noticed that they really did make a point of using he as soon as he introduced himself. So it's yeah.
Now in the hospital, Daniel briefly comes across the doctor, who quickly exits as Daniel starts asking questions. Meanwhile, Dr. Fraser starts asking around because there is a missing doctor. And then there's another doctor with some files, and she asks for the file of the burn victim, looks into it for like a second, and then rushes in.
Okay, but that actually makes sense because she asks for his blood work, and I'm pretty sure, like, if she can just tell, like, if it's a different blood type, that's gonna jump out at you right away.
Yeah, so she rushes in, uncovers it, and it's the missing doctor.
Like, they never explain why she sees it, but you can very much, like...
But still, that means that it's unclear how much time has passed.
Yeah, but again,
so they did have time to apparently take blood work from the different guy.
True, but blood work can go pretty fast.
It goes pretty fast, yeah. But
mostly you have to wait for it because there's a lot of backlog. So if they prioritize him, which they probably do because he's a burn victim, you know. Again, I am overthinking this medically, but I love overthinking things.
Now in the cell, Jack and Teal'c re-enter, and Teal'c informs him about the tok'ra, and they are still not sure about, or if they can trust the Gua'old, Jolinar in this case. And Jack tells him about the missing person in the hospital, and well, it's getting complicated. I wrote a lot of she because it's just Sam saying all these things, but so they tell them that it's a Gua'old hunter sent to kill Jolinar.
Yes.
Teal'c and Jack go to brief Hammond, so they tell him about what the tok'ra are. They are a resistance group, and they fight the Gua'old system lords. I'm not sure if this is the first time that they mention the system lords, because previous season it was mostly Apophis, and here they start hinting that there is more of them. We kind of already know that there's more of them. We had Hathor, but I think this might be the first time.
Yeah, I do love that it's only season 2 and we're already stepping down from the all Gua'old or evil trope, because you know that's not how people in general work. So I love that there's a resistance that we're finally hinting at. Finally.
Hammond says that they didn't find any sabotage or anything in the base, which lends credibility to the claim. And they also realize they now have a Gua'old hunting for Sam, or at least the body and the Gua'old inside, and they don't know what that person looks like. Then Daniel goes in to talk to Sam, and the Gua'old immediately remarks that he is the last one to come talk to her. I thought this was good writing.
It was good writing.
Because we as the audience immediately realize, yeah, he has a history with this kind of thing, so he would be hesitant to go talk to her. He wants to know if she can describe the hunter, and she says she can't because she wouldn't know it until he actually is there and tries to kill her.
It was very dramatic.
At this point, he says he's sorry about that, and she starts to negotiate and tells him that she knows where Sharae is and that they can bring her back.
And I was really annoyed at Daniel. I'm gonna say it's on brand for his character, but he's literally saying goodbye to Sam, saying like, I'm sorry, Sam, we can't help you. And then they're like, but I know where your wife is. Like, okay, maybe we can risk this after all. Okay, so not for Sam, but yes for Sharae, like...
Yeah, you would expect him to ask more questions at least, like, okay...
He jumps on it immediately again. Yeah. And again, it's very on point for his character.
Was trying to do this, of course.
And it's on point for his character, but it's just another reason for me to be annoyed at Daniel. Like,
yeah, he just walks into the trap.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my wife. Like, dude, seriously.
My first question would be, if you can save her, why can't we save Sam?
Yeah. Well, at that point,
negotiating. Jolinar
already said that he can leave without killing the host.
True, but still, they haven't really just explained how, or
Well,
we know
no.
because they need another host to do that. So
Yeah.
there's some practical questions there.
Yeah, okay, but locating Shari is of course step one, so I
Yeah.
get that.
Back at the hospital, they start moving people back because they're gonna send them to another location. And the hunter, now disguised as a soldier, hitches a ride to the SGC. And he hand waves his weapon to the
It's a Jedi
chauffeur.
mind trick ring. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Daniel is talking to the others, and he tells them that the tok'ra don't believe in taking people against their will, and they mostly get a host at the end of their life, and then offer them more life, probably.
Well, yes, that's how.
And Jack still doesn't want to trust them because it's a Gua'old. That line really jumped out to me. Like they look for hosts at the end of their life, because we know that this is gonna be a plot point later on when we meet Sam's father and the tok'ra get
Yeah.
involved.
True.
So yeah, and I'm
And
not sure which
honestly-
episode that is.
Yeah.
And because if it is this season, then maybe they're already putting that in,
Yeah.
or it's just a coincidence.
And, you know, truthfully, if that deal was offered to me, I would take it. I would co-share if it means I
can
get to
live
stay.
into outer
like,
space for hundreds of years, fly spaceships.
like, okay, you know, you get that many hours of the day and it's sold. Like, you know, fine.
Okay, so at that moment, the hunter arrives with the rest of the soldiers, and he uses his ring to manipulate his way inside. And he gets into the security room, where he immediately locates Jolinar on the monitors.
Okay, but he walks in and an alarm goes off, and the dude standing there doesn't react, which, fair, he's being hand-waved. But that alarm, why is there no secondary alarm? Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, it's an alarm that says, like, this handprint is not recognized. It doesn't do a general alarm.
true, I mean,
immediately.
if it always would give a second alarm, then, you know,
Yeah, then
anytime
you
your
would have it
hand
all the
wasn't
time.
scanned
Yeah.
properly, you know, somebody would be like, just turn it off, your hands are too cold again.
So that
like,
didn't really bug me.
Okay.
In the gate control room, they are prepping to open the gate, and a call comes in that the driver has reported to sickbay because he blacked out and he doesn't remember driving to the base. So yeah,
Which
they
is very
immediately-
responsible of him, well done.
Yeah, and Jack, of course, immediately gets what's going on. He asks to call up the camera of Sam's cell, which is disabled. And we notice that there is somebody else in the room activating the gate. There is no Harriman today.
Yeah, I
It
was
was his
like,
day off, apparently.
what happened? Where
Because
he
we did
go?
see him last episode. So yeah.
It was like this lady started calling out the chevrons and like, "You're not Harriman! Bring him back!"
So the hunter enters the cell, and Jolinar tells him that the days of the system lords are numbered. The hunter starts torturing them with a ring weapon. When two soldiers enter, he tells them that she's dead, and they rush out.
Which, again, soldiers, you're looking for an intruder with any kind of face.
It also goes really quickly because
True,
we
true.
literally cut from him torturing Sam to the guys coming in. There's nothing in between, and
Yeah.
and then Sam is lying on the ground, and he's like doing like he checks her, and they rush out.
I mean, he does,
At this point, there is a general alarm, so Jack and Teal'c are running towards the cell. They pass the soldiers in the hallway. They say something.
well, he basically goes like, the prisoner and two soldiers are dead.
Yeah,
At which Teal'c does like a little,
yeah. He does a double take. Like,
yeah, like something's off.
it doesn't really get followed up on, but Jack and Teal'c bring Sam to the med bay while Daniel gets the people to safety through
Jack
the Stargate.
goes to first name basis with Sam
Okay.
immediately.
And then the hunter also enters the gate room right when they're done, and Daniel, recognizing him, so the hunter takes him hostage.
Daniel is an idiot. I mean, like, hey, I know you. Like, no, Daniel, no, just play it cool and
He's
just
also-
walk past. He's such a dumbass.
I noticed that he was really low energy in this scene. Like you noticed earlier that he was a bit off in his
Yeah.
acting, and here he's just very low energy. Like he sees the people going. He's like it's like a day off for him. Like he's
Yeah.
walking through the park. He's just standing around there, and it's like, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
While there is an alarm going and stuff like that. So I don't know.
This was this whole episode. Like
this was when it felt off to me.
it felt off for me for a while now.
Yeah.
But yeah. But people are allowed to have bad days.
Exactly. In the med bay, it looks like the Gua'old is dying, but there's two signals, one for the Gua'old, one for Sam, and the doctor is unsure what to do. And we start intercutting between the med bay and the hostage situation until Tilk arrives in the gate room and he stuns the hunter with the Z gun.
No, he goes, I am sorry, Daniel Jackson. And just shoots them both, which is a very brilliant thing because you only, one zap
Yeah, it
stuns
stuns,
them.
so-
But then he zaps him again and he kills him. And I'm like, you could have questioned him. He was already down. You could have taken him into custody. This is weird. It was just convenient. Like, oh, we can't have too much information yet. It
But
just...
Daniel isn't knocked out. I think that because it's two people, that the charge was probably not as
okay.
strong because it was shared. So they
Okay.
were
That-
knocked down, but not knocked out.
Okay.
Because
yeah, I
he
can see that.
immediately gets up again, and maybe that's why he
Okay.
immediately shoots the other guy.
Okay.
But
It's
your
still a
point
very-
stands. Like
It's still a very good tactic, though.
Yeah.
Because, he knows it won't kill Daniel.
maybe he knows how the system lords work, and that they're not gonna get a lot of information out of it. But it's not really explained. Like you said, he just shoots the guy. Yeah. In the med bay, Sam starts to stabilize, and the Gua'old life signs starts to fall.
And just Jack hovering worriedly without getting in the way, it's giving me life. And I can just see why this couple launched so many fanfics. Like, they're just playing it so well.
I also appreciate that it never goes farther than that over the whole series.
Well, agree to disagree.
There's some alternate universe things and stuff like that where
True,
they
true.
play with it, or the time loop thing where they start playing with it. But in the main timeline,
Yeah, and
they never get involved.
a will they,
dramatically.
won't they? There has to be the possibility of it turning into a they won't, and they do play it very well. But I'm still gonna be happy for these moments when
Yeah, but it's just good that they don't make the mistake of then going for it and breaking the whole dynamic.
and they also don't go.
And I get why they do it in series, but there's no turning back after that point.
Yeah, and also they just find a way to make it work
Yeah.
after.
It's just realizing that you want to do a long form, and that kind of thing is endgame. If you do this, you're endgame and you're done.
Which is kind of weird. Like relationships don't end when they start. But that's a very tropey thing.
Yeah, but it's
But now we're digressing.
exactly.
Let's go back
we're
to
nearly at the end.
Yeah.
In the med base shows. So Sam comes to, and Jack's like, "Hey, you did it! You beat it!" And Sam says, "No, it was the Gua'old who saved her life by giving his own to save her." He still looks disbelieving at this when she said he does not believe that a Gua'old would do something. Like the consistency is there. Like I'm happy that they don't.
Yeah,
they
he's
don't all
very
immediately
hesitant
go for
about
it.
this.
Yeah. And then we cut to later that day. It's night, and Daniel comes in with flowers, and he sits down next to Sam on the bed, but she doesn't really react to him.
She's
And-
killing it with the acting.
she's just staring off,
Yeah.
and he exits again, and we see that in the hallway, all of them are actually waiting. So nice, really nice moment, because you immediately realize they're all there for her, but they don't want to crowd her. And Cassandra is there, and Daniel reassures Cassandra that Sam is still the same. She's getting better, and her body is absorbing the Gua'old, and she's back to her own self. She's just a bit sad.
That's an understatement, but okay then.
Yeah, but how do you explain this kind of, like, it's almost
Yeah.
depression, because she lived with that person and they were intermingled for a moment. So
Yeah.
So it's very raw. It's
I mean, I do love how they're giving room to this trauma.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we had these episodes where they were just being very jokey about, like,
they just
bodily
get
autonomy
better,
taking
and
away.
They just get better
like,
afterwards.
oh, hey,
but-
that's my DNA that they forcibly removed from my body. Haha. Like, no, that's not a joke, Daniel. You should go in therapy. Like, at least here, they give room for trauma, which
Yeah.
I really liked.
So Cassandra goes in and she also sits down on the bed with Sam, and Sam actually turns around to look at her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cassandra tells her that it's going to be okay.
Which is what Sam told Cassandra earlier
Yeah.
in season 1. So
And
that
we
was very
end
nice.
on a close-up of Sam's face while we fade to black.
Yes. Are you being teary-eyed? You're a bit teary-eyed.
Yeah, it's such a strong scene. Like you said, it gives room to the trauma
Mm-hmm.
and
And Amanda was killing it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious we like this one a lot. And I also mentioned that when we were done watching it, like, it's kind of funny when I was younger, when this was on TV, I would go for all the action-heavy episodes, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, and there's spaceships flying, and now we're a bit older, and and these traumatic episodes are like, oh, these are really good, they're killing it. Yeah, so it's funny how your perspective on things changes when you get older.
And then it's also funny how certain perspectives don't change. There's certain things in old shows that people are like, oh, this is so romantic. And as a kid, I was like, I don't get it, but maybe I'll get it when I'm older. And now I look at it again, I'm like, no, this still isn't romantic. This is problematic. Like, but okay.
I think you can relationship stuff. I think you can, even as a kid, can intuitively feel when something is off.
I don't know. I was always the weird kid.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. But I'm very much of the type that, like, if somebody is a jerk, like, they cannot be attractive to me, ever.
Yeah. Same.
And there's people who can be like, okay, I know I hate him, but he's still very gorgeous. Like, no, that's not a thing
yeah,
that can
because
coexist in my
but that's
mind.
because
But
they think they can fix it.
no, apparently people can separate that. And then
Yeah?
there's people that, yeah. Also, when I like someone, they just get more and more attractive over time to me. It's
But
like,
I think that's normal. I think that's really
no, that's
normal.
just because you're the same as me. We're not normal. Anyway, we're digressing from the episode, which was very good. But maybe we should wrap it off because we've been talking for a while.
Have we been talking? I haven't kept
It's
track.
44 minutes.
Yeah, but it was a really good episode. There's some new lore being introduced. We get the tok'ra for a first time. We get the mention of the system lords, and it's just a
Yeah.
really strong performance from Samantha. No, not Samantha
Amanda
Carter.
Tapping.
That's the character Amanda Tapping.
Amanda
Yes.
tapping. But it's a self-contained episode, though. We're back to
Yeah, but
like-
most of them are self-contained.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I really love this format
Mm-hmm.
where they do more or less self-contained episodes, but there's elements that will come back, and there's
Mm-hmm.
like there's a through line, like there's cause and consequence, and things are follow up on, but it's not like one big story necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It forms a whole, and it's all logical and stuff, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still episodic. And I really think we should get back to that kind of shows.
But even just overall, not just shows, like even in books, like people keep telling me, oh, people stop reading series all the time. Yes, because it used to be that, like Terry Pratchett, for instance, that's a series. But you can read every book on its own. Nowadays, like you read a series, every book has this major cliffhanger, and then you never know if the second book is even going to come out. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not reading that. I'm going to wait. And yes, I know that means that the series will probably end, but like maybe stop making everything cliffhangery. Anyway, that's a tangent. You should cut that out. It has nothing to do with this.
No, it has everything to do with, like, it's franchising of everything.
Yeah.
And making stuff just bigger than it needs to be. And that's what I've always liked about Stargate. And you can maybe laugh at the effects and at some of the scenes that they had back then. But if you're in the story, it works. It just
Yeah.
works.
And if you like, you can hop in anytime.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have the cinematic qualities of series nowadays, but you didn't need it. If the story's good, you watch it. And it looks good even for its time. So yeah, Really, really cool episode. I have no idea which one is next, so I'm very curious. What
Okay, but
next
the
one
main
will be.
question is, will oh crap, I forgot his name.
Harriman?
Chevron guy.
Chevron guy? Will Walter Harriman come back?
The
He
main
will-
question is,
yeah.
will Chevron guy be back?
He will come back, but there is something in the back of my mind saying that I think he might be less present in season 2. And
Okay.
we tried looking it up, but I couldn't really find an explanation for it. I'm thinking it's because they probably thought he's just an extra.
You don't know. Maybe he had a different project going on.
Yeah, or
maybe he
maybe,
was
yeah.
redoing his house. Maybe he was on parental leave. We don't know.
Yeah, could have been lots of reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to his return as well.
I love that the fandom gave him a name, like Chevron guy.
Yeah,
This is getting way too long.
Yeah, I looked up a whole thing about it, but we'll talk about that when he's back.
Yes.
Yeah, so next week we will be back and you can watch us talk about a new episode, or at least another episode, because there's no new episodes again. Where can people follow you online if they want to?
Oh boy. I am on Blue Sky. I am on Threads these days. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's just, I never know what I'm doing, so that's not new. And I'm on TikTok and Instagram, and I am Evie Belknap on all of those.
You can find me as Arne Köstermans on Instagram and as Iradonian on TikTok and Blue Sky and YouTube, of course, this channel.
You're on YouTube? Wait, you put these online?
Yes, I do. And you'll see us next week with the next episode. Thanks for watching or listening. Bye.